Whoop. Let's see. Okay. All right. Greetings, everyone. I'm a little late. Like I said, I was with a client that went a little long. Okay. All right. So, my name is Cassandra Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates. I am going to do a live readings this evening. So I'll just tell you, Facebook is with that bullshit tonight. So I went on my Facebook today after posting, the announcement for the live reading tonight. And the reading of Pure Lust that I did today got flagged by Facebook as sexual content or nudity. So Facebook has put a block on my account, so I can't do any lives, I can't do any group posts or anything like that for the next 24 hours. Because they said that the last reading that I did contained sexual content or nudity. So anyway, the only people that are going to be able to see me for right now are those that are tuning in via IG or via YouTube. So if you're trying to tune in from Facebook, you're asked out apparently. And so try to go to YouTube to catch the live. Anyway, so like I announced earlier, I'm going to do a quick, as a matter of fact, let me close my door because my neighbors are assholes. So I pulled out the cards, the oracles. All right, I've got some things to talk to you about because, as the title implies, for those that can see the title, this week is big. There's a lot happening this week, really starting today, that we should be on top of and not get distracted by happenings in the world. Now, listen, I want to tell y'all something without getting too emotionally or politically involved. Please pay attention. Please pay attention to astrology. When you hear some astrologer, and which I am not, by the way, but I pay attention to astrology. When you hear some astrologer talk about massive, big, energetic movements or astrological occurrences coming, pay attention to that so that anything that happens politically in the world surrounding that event, you understand, does not distract you from what you can receive and call in from that event. I hope that was clear, because right now, for the last 48 hours, the only thing that has been on the lips of the many is this conflict conveniently unfolding in Palestine/Israel. And nobody is talking about or focusing their energy on anything else. Today, I almost feel victim to it myself. Today, I spent too much time reading articles and getting people's opinions about what has just unfolded in Israel and Palestine, and almost got caught up in that mess. I mean, to the point that I was like, I had read comments by, quote, friends of mine that I was like, I'm about to block them. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to unfriend them because of their position on this conflict unfolding in real time in Israel and Palestine. And while my position is very stern, I am pro-Palestinian all the time. Even before I am pro-Palestinian, I am pro-women, I am pro-children, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not gonna go in because it's not what I'm here for. I almost got caught up today and I had to pull myself out of that mess because I remembered this week is a magnificent, major, eventful week that we can, even in the interest of people being impacted by conflict, that we have the ability to really manipulate, just like our opposition does, manipulate energy, take advantage of the period for the benefit of the many. You understand what I'm saying? But if we are distracted, just like we talked about in that reading today in Pure Lust, if we are distracted by propagandists who are set out to manipulate our mind energy, our heart energy, our emotional energy to their benefit, to continue to perpetuate the same old shit that empowers and enriches the few at the expense of the many, then we will have missed an opportunity. We will have lost and magnanimous opportunity. This week is one of those opportunities. Okay. So that's what I really, more than anything, this thing with Facebook, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I went on there and I was like, are they serious? Like nudity and sexual content? What? Because the title is Pure Lust and there's no way to even combat that shit. There's no way. And then when they come back and they'll be like, oops, my bad. Well, that's time you've lost. That's potential, you know, that's somebody potentially having benefited from information that, so, you know, I couldn't even get an attitude about it. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. People will catch what they catch, tune in how they can. I stream from different mediums right now. Like right now, we're still streaming live from IG, from YouTube, from Twitch. And but this thing with Facebook, and it's only going to get more deep than that. Like I'm really into the idea of us going back to like renegade ways of disseminating information, because the more information we put out, my homegirl was just telling me the other day how, you know, IG has been on her ass about, she don't even cuss the way I do. You feel me? Like she ain't got a sailor's mouth or nothing like that, but how, because of her content, because of what she's talking about, disseminating real information, IG is shadow banning her, is preventing her from allowing new fight, all this kind of stuff. This shit is only going to intensify once people start hearing more, waking up more, tuning in more. You understand? Listening to spirit more, heeding the call more. So I was like, I could have had an attitude about Facebook today, but I decided I was not going to. You understand? So this week is magnanimous. Things are going to happen in your life that are going to attempt to distract you from the overall theme of this week, which is get it. Because right now you can get it. Whatever it is you desire, whatever it is you need, whatever it is you have been wishing for or trying to call into your life, this week is the week that you can get it. You can get it. You can have it. Your dreams fulfilled, but there are other things in play that will attempt to distract you from keeping the grander view, keeping the big picture view, right? Tapping into what it is that is for you. There's so much out here that's for you. And so today, as in every day, so like I said this morning when I did the reading, every day I'm going to, at 5 o'clock, do the reading of Pure Lust, because this book is the jam and we have to move through it. It is so timely and so purposeful, and just the evidence of spiritual intervention by the mother all the time. This book, you feel me? So every day at 5 p.m., I'm going to read this book. Every day at 9:36 p.m., when I'm not late, every day at 9:36 p.m., I'm going to be doing exactly what I'm doing now. Putting you on game, doing this live reading, making sure that you're prepared over the next week in particular. But this whole month is radical. This whole month is radical. It's radical. Okay. So my name is Cassandra Faye Floyd. I am also known as the Daughter of the Fates. I am the founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I am a healer through various healing modalities, and my masters, my teachers, my mentors are many. I have four degrees. Do I have 4 degrees or 5 degrees? Let's see. I have a master's degree in traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture. I have a bachelor's degree of professional health sciences. I have a bachelor's degree of alternative medicine with a focus in Ayurveda under a now ascended master from a 15 generation line of Ayurvedic practitioners. Um, um, I have an associate's degree in massage therapy with 16 certifications. Feel me? Let me tell you my credentials because y'all be acting like, anyway, whatever. So that's what I am. I am an ordained minister as well as a healer, having founded the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence on November 11th of last year. So our 1 year anniversary is coming up quick. So anyway, I want to move through this. I want to give you a brief overview of what's coming this week. So today is October 9th of 2023. Tomorrow is October 10th, which is the 1010 portal. And it is big because the 1010 portal is the 1010 portal is about one of the things that it is about. So we hear about portals all the time. So a portal are those periods astrologically where you hear this a million times, where we talk about where the veil is thin, the thinning of the veil, those moments astrologically where we can power up, where we can tap in, where the work is not as laborious to plug in. So whatever that work is, if it's ancestral work, if you want to go hard on your ancestral shrine or altar, this is an opportune month to do that for obvious reasons, because it is October, the beginning of right after the beginning or our entry into the fall equinox. This period all the way through like the first week of November, it everywhere on earth historically has been the time that we honor, raise up, and revere our ancestors. This time where the veil is thin and our ancestors can become real-time emissaries. We can tap into them, we can feed them, we can pour into them, and in exchange, they will power us up. So 1010 portal tomorrow would be an opportune time to get your home portal in order, which is the caring for of your ancestral shrine or altar, if that's what you have. Okay. Also tomorrow, it would be opportune for you to spend a little time alone. Because of what's happening in the world right now, and because of how our opposition is always trying to get us emotionally involved in a negative way, rally us in a negative way emotionally to distractions, tomorrow would be a good day to detox, to do a 1 day fast, to go out to the woods in particular, take your bare feet and wiggle them around, dig them into some rich soil at the foot of some tree somewhere tomorrow, which is what I plan to do. For those of you who are in the area, my plan is to get up in the morning, probably around sunrise, to go out to Eaton Canyon and do a little short hike at Eaton Canyon. You feel me? All the elements are there: the mountains, the water, the woods. You feel me? So that's where I'm gonna go, is to Eaton Canyon in the morning. Take your ass out somewhere before you get inundated with the busyness of the day. I have a busy day tomorrow. I have a laundry list of shit I got to do tomorrow. But before I get inundated with that, I am going to go and spend an hour, maybe two, before it gets busy out in the world, out at Eaton Canyon, making an offering to the water, sitting at the base of a tree, sitting on my favorite boulder out there. You feel me? So take the time to center through aloneness. Make the commitment tomorrow, not to lay up on your social media. Okay. That's a big one. The only reason I intend to be on my social media tomorrow is to do these two lives, the one at 5 and the one at 9:36. So that's another thing. Pluto also stations direct tomorrow. So Pluto has been in retrograde motion since June or July. I'm not an astrologer, so don't be checking me if you know what I'm saying. I listen to other astrologers and I bring y'all the shit broke down. You feel me? Pluto has been in retrograde motion, I believe it's since June. So for a long time, Pluto is your shadow planet. You understand? Pluto is stationing direct tomorrow on the day of the 1010 portal. right? So for a long time, we've been taught, everybody that I talk to is like, man, my energy has been so low. Everything has been so heavy. Why do I feel so weighted down? Everything is so burdensome because Pluto has been attempting over these many months that it's been in retrograde motion to slow you down, to let you have a conversation with your shadows. Not because every time we hear about shadows, every time we talk about shadows, it just comes off like negative or labor or burdensome, right? That's not everything that shadows and shadow work is. One of the things that, because it is partly that, right? It is like, the childhood trauma, the resolution of ancestral trauma, that kind of stuff. Yes, it is partly that. It is only partly of what the shadow is. And the thing that I always focus on, because I love Pluto. You understand? I'm a child of Pluto. And I say that I'm a child of Pluto. I'm not a Scorpio. But I say that I'm a child of Pluto because Pluto in my ancestral tradition is the goddess Oya. And I know that she catches shit. She don't get her just due. You feel me? She does not get the spot on the block that she deserves. And this is her time to reign right now. She is on deck calling all of us to task. And so she doesn't get the just due because people only focus on the destructive nature of Oya. Oya, as the governess of evolution, when she comes on the scene, and it takes her a very long time to come on the scene, she comes wrecking shit. And so people are very fearful of Oya slash Pluto, right? But they do not take into account that she is also the governess of all wealth, radical wealth. She is the one who protects um, entrepreneurs, business owners, particularly female business owners. She is the one who protects sex workers and people who are outside gender norm constructs. That's all Yah. She is the mother to all who have been abandoned by their mothers. That's who she is. You understand? She is responsible for those creatures that lay below the surface of the earth who allow for us to live. When I talk about that, I'm talking about everything that lies below the surface of the earth that transforms the macro into the micro that then refeeds the macro. I'm talking about earthworms and maggots and roly-polies and snakes and all of those things that we revile, but that are a blessing to us. You understand? That's the period. And so when we talk about, plus, Oya is a dancer. Most of the goddesses that are pigeonholed as destroyers are dancers. Kali, Pele, Oya, Sekhmet. Every time you see them, baby, when they are called on to do the thing, honey, they are like, oh, I get a spot on the block now? Yeah. Right? That's Sekhmet. Tongue out, raging. But who else is Sekhmet? Who else is Kali, the great black primordial she? That's who Kali is. The great black primordial she. She who gave birth to all gods. To all gods. She is the mother and the destroyer. Right? She is the lover and the slayer. That's all of these deities that have been pigeonholed as destroyers and tucked on the back burner. Well, honey, they all, every last one of them, this day time. Eris, you understand? Sekhmet, Lilith, Oya slash Pluto, everybody on deck right now. They like, look, y'all done tabled us long enough. It's our time. And we about to run through all this shit. And you better be happy about it. You better know and see it as the blessing that it is. It's our time. And when we come to remove all decadence, all decay, all criminality. We are the judgers. But everything that we do with love. We do in love. We do from love. Real love. Love that governs sovereignty. You understand? Pluto stations direct tomorrow. Oh yeah, stations direct tomorrow after a long, slow, laborious retrograde. But the retrograde was to prepare you. Are you ready? Are you going to give that part of yourself that you keep secret, that you hold close, that you have not been courageous enough to put on display? Are you going to let her live? Are you going to let her live? Or are you going to hold her hostage again? And I'm gonna have to grind your ass up. You gonna hold her hostage again? Or do you have the courage enough, the audacity enough to let her live your shadow? Do you have the wherewithal to let her live and to know that her most radical self can only be good? Can only be good. So anyway, Pluto stations direct tomorrow. Are y'all ready? Pluto stations direct tomorrow at a 1010 portal, at the 1010 portal. The 1010 portal that is governed by the goddess Venus, or the planet Venus. This Venus governing this 1010 portal. Actually, Venus is ruling this whole week. You feel me? Venus is ruling this whole week. I just had this diatribe with y'all the other day about the 5-point star, right? Being Venus, about me, how wonderful spirit aligns in this beautiful weaving of the cosmic tapestry that allowed for me to become a practitioner of 5 elements theory, the 5-point star that teaches us about the yin and yang in all things, the harmony of opposites, right? I just had this conversation with y'all the other day. You feel me? Venus rules this week. Venus, who is the goddess Oshun, I'm going to talk to y'all about her a little bit, because I like to talk about these planets from an African-centered perspective. But it's dope because I just went to this this art exhibition at what's the name of this place? I can't think of it, but this huge museum here in LA and Santa Monica. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, they have an exhibition about the Mayan people and how one of their most famous cults was was Venus as the center of their entire cult. The goddess Venus, the star Venus as the center of their cult. I was like, how timely, how perfect. Venus runs this week. Venus / the goddess Oshun, or whomever she represents in your tradition, is interested in nothing less than your total ecstatic happiness, pleasure, and love. Like, she wants you to be happy to the extreme. You understand? She is also, however, the ruler of the witches, the owner of all magic. The only reason that males have the ability to perform magic, intuition, divination, whatever, is because of her. It's because of her. It's because of Venus. You understand? The morning star, the god of the morning, Lucifer, the great illuminator, Venus, the 5-point star, you see. She rules this week as we enter into the 1010 portal tomorrow on the same day that Pluto stations direct. Now, in Ifa tradition, Pluto and Oya and Oshun have a particularly intimate relationship with one another. You understand? So practically tomorrow, focus on money for the rest of the week. Focus on money, focus on things that are going to draw wealth to you. Those things that are going to draw wealth to you are going to be more about your creative ability, not your job, not your occupation, as much as those things that give you pleasure, give you joy, that, elicit a need to be more creative in the week. Oh my God. Those are the things you're going to want to focus on this week. Those are the things you're going to want to focus on this week. Art, writing, music, whatever it is, even if it's nothing that you currently do but have been thinking about doing, initiate a step in that direction this week. Something created that gives you pleasure, that gives you joy. Okay, that's tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, October 10th, the 1010 portal, the day that Pluto stations direct. On the 13th, this Friday is Friday the 13th, right? Which is ruled by Venus as well. And 13 is the number of Venus. Venus has 13 cycles. Our moon has 13 cycles. We have 13 weeks in each season. So Friday the 13th, get that shit out your head that it's a bad, spooky, scary day. It's your power up day. Friday the 13th from here until the rest of your life is your power up day. Okay, stop evading, stop avoiding, stop running away from Venus on Friday the 13th. When you are fortunate enough to experience a Friday the 13th, pull out all the stops. Make love, have great orgasms, be surrounded by art, make sure your place is clean, put on beautiful perfume, put on beautiful clothes, get yourself made up, get your hair did. You feel me? What else? Go hear a wonderful concert. Infuse your whole day with nothing but hell. Have me tell it, take the day off. If you have me tell it, take the day off. Call in sick. Understand what I'm saying? Call in sick, and they ain't got to tell them you're taking a wellness day. You feel me? And spend the entire day being engulfed in pleasure. Engulfed in pleasure. Take your ass, if you live out here in California, or Atlanta is another place, you are surrounded by spas. Take your ass to the spa, get your toes did, your nails did, sit in the whirlpool, sit in the saunas, have one of them ladies scrub all the dead skin cells off your body. You feel me? Spend the whole day engulfed in ecstatic pleasure. Please have orgasms this Friday. Listen, I don't care what you have to do to get them. Please have several orgasms, but be deliberate in your orgasms. You feel me? Be deliberate. Say prayers. Write affirmations. You know what I'm saying? Repeat those affirmations aloud before engaging in the act that's going to give you the orgasm. Chant them, child. Chant them affirmations at the point that you are about to receive that orgasm. You feel me? Do what you got to do. Have somebody play in your hair, hold hands with somebody, squeeze a baby. Do what you have to do. Friday the 13th from now until the rest of your life is your power up day. Be engulfed in only that which gives you pleasure. Music that gives you pleasure, art that gives you pleasure, your pet that you love to cuddle. Squeeze your babies extra. Take them somewhere where you can hear them giggling all day, whatever your bag is. Engulfed in pleasure. That's this Friday, October the 13th, Friday the 13th, which precedes this even more epic pinnacle of this week, which is the annular eclipse, which is the Libra new moon, and it is the last eclipse of its type visible in the Western Hemisphere until the year 2039. Power the fuck up this week in an ecstatic and joyous and optimistic way. Sidestep these headlines, because listen, you paying attention to the headlines, you getting emotionally moved by the headlines is not going to change the circumstances. You can be aware. I am aware, and I have a position about what's happening in the Middle East. But you lamenting, you emotionally engaging, you going to war with your friends over the differing of opinions, you feel me, is not going to change what is happening in the Middle East. I promise you it's not. What will have a greater impact on the global consciousness that can impact that and the other 159 active wars that are happening right now on the planet is every single one of you listening, telling your friends to do the same thing, that for 1 week, we are going to do nothing but say prayers of certainty, affirmations of certainty. The world is better. The world is better because I call it so. I say it so right now in real time. I don't have room for no hope. I don't have room for no faith. It is as I say, it is certain. That's what prayer is. It is as I say, it is certain. Do that this week and do it with the emotion that accompanies pleasure, ecstasy, joy, happiness, sovereignty. This will have a greater impact. You understand? That's what they do not want you to do, is to be tapping and plugging the fuck up, plugging the fuck in these big astronomical radical events that haven't happened in some of these events haven't had. This October, I just heard a sister, I don't remember her name, I didn't take it down, it was on my IG news feed, say that this particular October is the first of its kind in 800 years. This October that we're in right now is the first of its kind in 800 years that has 5 Saturdays, 5 Sundays, 5 Mondays, 2 eclipses, a Friday the 13th. Is big power up energy. Keep your mind straight. Keep your ambitions crystal clear. If you got to have your alarm clock set to bitch, I'm winning, bitch, I'm winning, bitch, I'm winning, whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying? However it is that you need to set the trajectory of your day, do it. Do it deliberately, even when you're tired, even when you're exhausted, even when you're in a bad mood this month, because I'm telling you, this bullshit out here is set to distract you at these opportunities that you have the ability to power up, not just for yourself, for everyone around you, not just for them, but everyone around them, and having a ripple effect through the whole planet. Power the fuck up this week. Okay? That's happening on the 14th. The Ring of Fire annular eclipse. Now, if you're interested, just Google it. Ring of Fire annular eclipse path of totality. So I spent a whole bunch of time over the last few days charting out the times of the path of totality, trying to figure out where I'm going to catch the Ring of Fire eclipse, because I've never been to Oregon. I was like, maybe I should just, drive to Oregon or take the train to Oregon, to the path of totality. It's a little bit of a hike. You feel me? The closer locations for me are Utah, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. Nevada being the closest. Regardless of what you do, even if you are not in the path of totality, you can power up in this eclipse. This eclipse will be visible throughout the entire Western Hemisphere, but you will only see the ring of fire, the full, ring around the eclipse, in the path of totality. So if you're here in California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Nevada, and you're not in the path of totality, you will still be able to see this eclipse all the way into Texas. Regardless of what you plan, whether you're going to try to drive somewhere to see the path, to be in the path of totality, or whether you go and post up, power up, man. Power up. If it means that you have to sleep your social media for a little while, because all I went to do today was to post about my lives today, answer a few emails, but everybody, like clockwork, on everybody's feed, IG, Facebook, TikTok, all everybody is talking about is this thing that is unfolding in the Middle East. Table it. I know that might sound harsh. It is not harsh. I am concerned about what is happening with Israel and Palestine. I am. Am I going to invest in it emotionally during the week where I know that I can have a greater impact? If I am powered up, if I am tapping in, if I am listening to the mothers, if I'm talking to my ancestors, if I'm doing rituals, if I'm telling others, keep your mind clear of that bullshit this week. Sidestep that shit this week. Power up. Talk to your big mama. Talk to your big papa. Light a candle for your peoples. Make an offering to the earth. These past 3 days I've spent with Indigenous people. When I tell you I'm exhausted, there have been a numerous amount of Indigenous Peoples Day events all over Southern California. I went to about 6. You understand? Purchase some little wares from some indigenous people. You feel me? Got myself some fly. This is a rattlesnake spine bracelet. Some man in the maze. These are Owatham native traditional earrings. You feel me? What else I got? I got some other stuff, but I ain't wearing it right now. I went and supported indigenous people on Indigenous Peoples Day. I went to ceremony this weekend. You understand? Oh, I got this dope ass septum ring, from a Brazilian indigenous sister this weekend. You feel me? It's Indigenous Peoples Day today. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of us are talking about, even indigenous people are talking about this conflict between Palestine and Israel, right? We just have to be clear that what we do in our daily lives is just as impactful on the whole as those outward things that we do that we think are going to make an impact, demonstrating and battling with one another about our position on this, that, and such. Power up this week. Venus rules this week. She is the quintessential goddess of love. She is only interested in your ecstasy, your happiness, those things that sustain your life so that you can be happy. Water, honey, love, the honey bee, love making, having children, divination, witchcraft. You understand? Art, music, drums in particular, the dance in particular. So why don't you just focus on her this week? Focus on her this week because Venus rules this week. She owns the whole week. This her shit. You understand? Make the offerings, say the prayers, light the candles, write the songs, sing the affirmations, masturbate regularly, make love if you have a boo, find a boo if you don't have a boo. You feel me? Do what it takes to channel that. Let that be the governing energy of the week because she run this. You understand? But she can only give back what we given. And if we give in despair and lament and woe and travesty and tragedy, all we're going to do is magnify that. All we're going to do is multiply that. Later for that. We didn't had enough of that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the other thing. So Friday the 13th, baby, I just got an invite for Friday the 13th. I had no intention of going anywhere, but I just got an invite for Friday the 13th for like this Friday the 13th spooky party that has like several DJs and special drinks and get dressed. The quote was, wear your sluttiest attire. I was like, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes. Friday the 13th, I'm going to have my titties jacked up to my neck. You feel me? I'm going to have a little corset on. Yes. Do what you got to do to call in this week. This week is for you. This week is for you. Power the fuck up. Okay? So those are the big ones. The theme of this week is ecstasy. The theme of this week is love. The theme of this week is happiness, ecstatic, everything. You feel me? Decadent, everything. You understand? And the other theme of this week is courage. The audacity, the courage to do those things that you have put on the back burner. How does that factor in? Because again, Pluto is stationing direct tomorrow after a very long retrograde. Pluto is stationing direct tomorrow. Do you have the courage to let your shadow live in the light, baby? Do you have the courage to let your shadow live in the light? That secret desire that you have tucked away because people have said, you can't do that. That's not the right way to do it. What you think if you are an artist, for example, you can't make no real living doing that. Why don't you just go do why don't you go get a real job? That person that you have left behind because you believe the hype, pull her out. Let her live in the light. Do you have the courage this week to take your deepest, most secret heart's desire and let that shit live in the light? Because somebody's salvation is in your shadow. Y'all ain't hurt. Oh my God. Y'all ain't hurt. Somebody's salvation is in your shadow. Somebody's way through misery is that which you have kept secret in your heart. That thing that would speak to many that you have, because of your own fear, because of your own insecurities, tucked away, hidden from the many. You understand? Baby, somebody's ability to live life to their fullest is tied to your shadow. Do you have the courage to let your shadow live? Do you have the courage to let your shadow live out loud in the light? Have her spot on the block, like these shadowy goddesses I was talking to y'all about early. We want to put them away. We want to ignore them. We turn away from them. Sekhmet, Lilith, Eris, Pluto / Oya. You understand? Sekhmet, Wajet. You understand? Do you have the courage to embrace your shadow, to pull them in and let them live out loud? Do you have the courage to let them have their spot on the block? That's this week. That's this week. You feel me? So, and then the other thing that I am certain will be indicative of something that happens this week is because this new moon is happening in Libra. This solar eclipse coming up, the Spring of Fire eclipse coming up on Friday. Libra is what? Libra is the scale of justice, the scales of justice. So I have a sneaking suspicion, and plus Pluto is stationing direct this week. So I have a sneaking suspicion that even with this thing happening that is taking everybody's attention between Israel and Palestine, that may be a diversion for something that is going to come down the pike or be exposed this week. Some dirt done behind closed doors, some dirt done in the dark being exposed this week. Pluto is stationing direct this week. That's happening in the scales of justice. Pluto being who? Oya, balancing the scales of justice. Oya, what do they say? She is the owner of the mask, but the reason for the mask, as owned by Oya, is she wears the mask to expose those who have done dirt. You feel me? She can remove the mask to expose that which has been done in the dark, right? She as the goddess of the underworld, you feel me? She is the one of the 401 Orisha, depending upon your perspective. The only one of the 401 Orisha that have 1 foot squarely planted in the terrestrial realm, 1 foot firmly planted in the ancestral realm, right? So she is the owner of the veil. She rules the veil. When we talk about the veil so thin, the veils and all that shit, that's her. She is the one that only she is the one who exposes what's been done in the dark so that it can be brought to justice. Exposes what's been done in the dark so that it can be brought to justice. This is the potential of her stationing direct this week. Pluto stationing direct this week in Libra, right on the precipice of this new moon in Libra, the solar eclipse, the Ring of Fire eclipse. So keep your eyes out for that, but not in a doom and gloom way. When you recognize her, you welcome her. When you recognize who she is, I'm talking about Oya, I'm talking about Pluto. When you recognize who she is, you welcome her, because everything that she does, every storm that she brings is always followed by radical, extraordinary blessings and massive evolution. Every time, all the time. It's the only reason she come on the scene. We didn't got comfortable in oppression. We didn't got comfortable in decadence. We didn't got comfortable with decay. And she's like, look, I love y'all, but y'all can't stew in this shit. So I'm gonna come and wreak havoc. But just know it's only to clear out the debris to make way for the blessings that your ass have been blocking. You've been blocking your blessings, boo. Not me. You've been blocking your blessings by keeping stagnant energy in your space, by holding on to the decay, holding on to your oppression, getting comfortable in your cage. So I got to come, because I'm only interested in justice. I'm only interested in evolution. So I got to come through here and sweep all this shit out the way so you can be blessed. That's all. So those are the occurrences of the week. Let's see if I missed anything, right? The eclipse. I'll be talking about it further on down the line because there's a lot happening this month, not just this week. We have a lunar eclipse coming up on October 28th, which is also equally radical. You understand? But I'll save that for maybe later in the week. And yeah, so that being said, I didn't mean to spend that much time on it, but it was necessary. So like I said, I'm going to do free readings tonight. I'm going to do them for about an hour since I spent 45 minutes rapping with y'all about how to prepare for this week. So this is the stilo. For those of you who are tuning in via IG, I would encourage you, first of all, to tune in via YouTube. I am live on YouTube. I'm simulcasting stream through StreamYard. And I encourage you to go on YouTube just so I can get my watch hours up, my subscriptions up, my likes, like, share, subscribe, all that rigmarole. If you are tuning in from IG, I know this is archaic. Listen, just forgive me and work with me. I have here how you can make donations, right? So it's $11 a question. You can pay up to 3 questions per person. You can pay via Zelle, Venmo, Cashapp, or PayPal. So I'll hold that up for a second because we're going to get started. Those of you who are tuning in through Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, you can see scrolling across the bottom of the screen the methods with which you can pay. The $11 donation per question, up to 3 questions per person. That's Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, and Cashapp. So if you're tuning in IG, I'm just showing this to you here. If you're tuning in, I'll have this more professional in a day or so. I'm going to get a printout, but whatever. Right? So donations, $11 a question, up to 3 questions per person. Zelle, Venmo, Cashapp, or PayPal. If you're tuning in through Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, you can see across the bottom of the screen the methods with which you can submit that. I'm going to undisturb. Okay, so in Kingay Lewis, I think I spelled that right, pronounced that right. In Kingay Lewis, let's see, through who contacted or paid through Cashapp and Kingay Lewis. Let's see. So hit me up on whatever medium you are tuning in from. In Kingay Lewis, you made a donation of $22. So go ahead and ask your first question. That's 2 questions. Ask your first question. And you can type it anywhere. That is okay. Svane Lamp. King K. Lewis, that's Svane Lamp, tuning in via YouTube. Okay, so go ahead and ask your first question. And after I pull for your first question, then we can go on to your second question, okay? So, okay, cool. So for those of you who are tuning in late, I am doing live readings, $11 a question, up to 3 questions per person. The ways and methods with which you can do that are scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So I read, those of you who have tuned in before, you know that I read from the Medicine Woman Guidebook. I do that, have the Medicine Woman Tarot deck. I will show you the card that I pulled for you, and then we'll talk about the card. And then I haven't done it in a while, so y'all will be my guinea pigs. I haven't done it in a long while. I haven't pulled out, but I also have read for a long time for myself from the I Ching, because, you know, I practice Chinese medicine and I love the I Ching. So I was like, well, you know, people can choose. If you would rather me pull from the tarot deck, I can do that. If you would rather me pull from the I Ching, you let me know. And regardless, you're going to get a powerful reading from it. So Svane Lamp, you sent a donation. So let me go ahead and get your question from you. I see you have responded twice. Okay, how is the balance of the year? Thank you, I Ching. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay. So when you say the balance of the year, that's very vague. Let me try to get you guys to ask more specific questions if you can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull from the I Ching for you. And, but yeah, if you have a more specific question, let me know. Okay. Okay, so Svan Lamp, the card that was pulled from the I Ching for you is the pie. It represents obstacle. Okay, so the above and the below. So when you, I don't know how much you know about the I Ching, but the I Ching is similar for those that are familiar with the Dafa in Ifa tradition. They are the two oldest what's the word I'm looking for? The two oldest binary systems of divination, right? Basically they both represent the 1 and the 0 that we use right now for computers, right? For computer programming and all of that, the 1s and the 0s. These two systems of divination represent those initial binary systems of divination. So the pi is they also call these the hexagrams, right? It's like 64 different possible positions of the hexagram, of the broken lines and the solid lines of the I Ching. Okay, so this is the pi, which is obstacle. The above represents heaven and the below represents earth. So this particular card is talking about staying steadfast in whatever it is you are attempting to do. Your ambitions, your goals, staying steadfast, but preparing for the fact that those closest to you will stage obstacles. They will stage opposition. They may not see your vision. They may not see clearly what it is you're trying to execute. They may just be stuck in their own conditioning. That thing that I mentioned earlier when talking about Pluto and Oya and letting your shadow live out loud, and how the reason that we encage and imprison our shadow in the first place is because typically somebody told us something about what we want to do and we believed it. Like, you can't make no living being no musician. You can't make no living being no artist. You better get a real job. You feel me? They think they're doing it out of love. They think they're being pragmatic. You know what I'm saying? Practical. But what they are doing is suffocating the shadow, and then we concede. And so this card is really actually beautiful, and time it's really kind of beautiful, this card that you've received, because what I was talking about in the overview about this week in particular, what was the last thing that I said is, do you have the courage to let your shadow live? Do you have the courage to let that thing that you've kept quiet or secret live out loud? Your ambitions, your dreams, right? Those things that you want to manifest, do you have the courage to let them live? So this card is really actually kind of freaking perfect, because it requires courage to do despite those that you love or close to you or even respect presenting obstacles or opposition to you fulfilling your personal ambitions, destiny, whatever it is. Let's see. One of the things that this card teaches you to do is to be mindful of the necessity of shedding old resentments, not holding grudges. This is going to be the thing that best hastens your successes, right? One of the other lessons of the card is to accept the obstacles or challenges as gifts. Accept them as gifts, because it sharpens you. It's like sharpening the blade. Okay. And then also the last lesson of the card is about what did I say about doing tomorrow? Tomorrow is the 1010 portal. Tomorrow stations direct. What did I say was the main theme of tomorrow? Get up early, go out to the woods, go someplace quiet, go to the beach, preferably the woods. So that's been kind of like the theme of the whole day. Go to the woods, go to some place dense, go to some place where the soil is rich, ideally. But if you don't have access to that, go outside. Take your ass outside somewhere in nature, preferably to the woods, preferably to someplace dense and quiet, and focus, retreat, regroup, set solid intentions for the week. Okay. So this card is actually really great as a first pull for the night. So, in terms of balance for the year, so I want to say, in terms of your question, I haven't ever seen you on my any of my lives so far, I don't think, but I talk frequently. So you're tuning in from YouTube. It would behoove you to go back about a year and a half to the workshops that I did on the Pluto returns. So we're still in the height of America's first Pluto return. So that too can give you some insight on how to be making moves in these coming months. We have a little less than a year before this Pluto return concludes. So I'm saying that because when you're talking about the balance for the rest of the year, I think it was maybe Saturday, or maybe it was last week, when I talked about how it was a couple of weeks ago, because it was the equinox service that we did. And I talked about how this time of the year, historically, for 250 million years of humanity on Earth, we had such a beautiful and intimate, harmonious relationship with nature that this time of the year we naturally slow down. From the fall equinox through the winter season, we naturally slow down. That's why the days get shorter. That's why we do all the rigorous work during spring and summer, so that we can harvest in the fall that which we have put intention into, that which we have put effort into, that which we have put love and songs into, that we can harvest it in the fall, so that we can actually completely stop working in the winter. If we were living rhythmically and harmoniously with the planet, with nature, then come the winter months, we would not be working at all. We will have done the work in the spring and the summer to allow us to completely slow down to almost a hibernation state, full rest, total recuperation. This is the gift that Spirit gives us. But what happens in a capitalist society this time of the year, as soon as Labor Day hits, it's like somebody has shot a gun, pew, and everybody takes off. Pew. For the most intensive purposes, September through December are the busiest months of our year. Why? Because we are hit with a succession of holidays that require our capitalist production of labor to ensure that we have the ability to give gifts for every last one of these holidays, so that we can have enough food and resources and things to do these holidays without going into debt. You feel me? These months, September, October, November, December, typically are the busiest months of the year. The full realization of the turning upside down, the turning inside out of our natural rhythm and cyclical relationship with our environment, with nature, with Mother Earth. So when I tell you tomorrow, take your ass outside for an hour before you get busy, it is because these are the moments where we have to take small moments to power up, to replenish, to refill, in a period where we should be naturally slowing down, naturally calming, naturally being more introspective. When we talk about the veil thinning in October through November, because this is the period where we are most likely to hear spiritual intervention, most apt to receive intervention from our ancestors. That's why the Mexica people here every day for the month of October take care of, tend to their ancestral altars, because they know that there's something for them there. You see? So take tomorrow, Svein Lamp, take tomorrow to power up. Take the rest of the week. This is for everybody. Take the rest of the week. Go outside, even if it's for 1 hour. Go outside. Be purposeful. Be present. Say the prayer. I am open to receive that which you have for me, Spirit, even if it makes me uncomfortable. I am open to receive whatever you have for me, Spirit, Mother, Goddess, ancestors, whoever you call to, emissaries. I am open to receive. My heart is open to receive what you have for me, even if it makes me uncomfortable. Thank you. I am open to receive whatever it is you have for me, even if it makes me uncomfortable. Thank you. Be present and be open to hear. Be open to see signs. You understand? Be open to see signs. Because I've been seeing them. Woo, my God, the last 4 days have been off the chart, y'all. But that's another story for another day. Be open to see signs. Be open to hear when Spirit is intervening in your life. Be ready to act on that which you receive. Be ready to act on that which you receive. Okay. What's your second question, Svein Lamp? And thank you for supporting, by the way. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. What's your second question? Okay. Anybody else? So those of you tuning in late, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We're doing a live reading today in lieu of this most, this most amazing and auspicious week that we have in store for us. Is there something specific I should be focused on? Okay, that is still very vague. So when you are saying something specific, are you asking about love? Are you asking about your occupation or your work? Are you asking about a new direction in your life? I need questions that are a little bit more specific. Is there something specific that I should be focused on? So when I just read your card, which was the obstacle card, what is it that's important to you? Not what you do for a living. What is it that if you, and you don't, a new direction in life. Okay, that's still very vague. Okay, so what I'm asking, when this card, the obstacle card, and the fact that tomorrow is the 10/10 portal and Pluto is stationing direct, okay? When I tell you to move this week with the courage to let that which you have kept hidden live out loud, what does that mean to you? That thing that you've kept hidden, that thing that you have refused to let live out loud for whatever the reason, right? You're talking about a new direction in life. Is there something more specific I should be focused on? But I don't know you. And so this is about what is important to you. What have you, and when I mean important, let me just give you an example. So I want to be a musician. I am a musician, but I am a not currently active musician. It's one of my secret life's pleasures is the idea of seeing myself in front of a bunch of people, giving them joy through what I produce. That's one thing. But the more deep, dark aspect of my need to be a performer is, I'll be honest, I'm probably oversharing, but I'm trying to give you an example about that thing that we keep hidden that should live out loud, because that thing that we keep hidden may be a blessing to someone else. 99.9% of the time, that thing that we keep hidden is a blessing to someone else. But it takes a lot of courage to let that thing live. I'll be honest. One of the things that I would love to do, if I ever develop the courage to, you feel me, is I want to produce non-exploitative, grown-up, sexy, erotic movies. I want to direct porn. So I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, wait, what? Yeah, it's something that I have thought about for a very long time. Like, I am one who is visually stimulated. As a matter of fact, I'm a voyeur. I like to watch others, like in real time, have sex, even if I'm not engaged. I love to watch. And pornography is boring. Pornography is boring because it plays into too many tropes. It plays into exploitative tropes. It's just unsexy, right? There's not too many porn flicks that I've seen that are like sexy. They're just not sexy. They're a means to an end, right? And those means to an end are typically funneled through the male gaze, through the most, not even the male gaze, through the patriarchal, misogynistic male gaze. And I have said for a very long time, 10 years, if I ever got the money, if I ever got the gumption, you feel me? That's what I would do, is I would launch my own progressive, radical, erotic, ecstatic pornography. That's what I mean when I say shadows living out loud. Okay. That's what I mean. So Zvain Lamp, is there something, because you're talking about a new direction in life. I'm still going to pull another card for you. You're talking about another direction in life, but is there something? You don't have to share what that thing is. You don't have to share with me what that thing is. But if you can say generally what this thing that you've kept hidden is, and I can answer the question, is this something you should pursue, or is this something you should put off till later? You feel me? And I've pulled a card for you. So tell me, Zvain Lamp, if there's something. I'm just going to grab something really quick. If there is something that you can say more specifically about this direction in life. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. If anybody else wants to ask a question, this is a live reading for those of you who have tuned in late. This is a live reading. It's $11 donation per question. You can ask up to 3 questions per person while I pour my libations. You feel me? Okay. Anybody? So let's see. So let me read some of these comments really quick. Let's see. Zvain Lamp. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of comments here. Okay. Honeybee Beloved. Let's see. Honeybee Beloved. Hard Agree. Let's see. Shoot. Let me go through some of these. Okay. I would absolutely do SW again in a non-exploitative context. Psychic Zaya says, wait, laugh my ass off. I just signed back on. Honeybee Beloved, Hard Agree. Thank you for saying it. Oh my God. I have the gumption. I would have to help the collective reimagine pleasure. Yes. I think, I'll be honest, this thing that I'm talking about with my secret heart's desire to produce porn, is based in the needs of so many women. Like, I mean, I've been a healer for a long time. I put my hands on a lot of human beings over the years. I've had, both males and females and everybody in between, for that matter, cry tears on my table because we have been denied deep, fulfilling pleasure, and we can't articulate what would give us deep, fulfilling pleasure. So it's always like something superficial, like maybe I just can't have an orgasm or whatever. Or, I was 24 and I had 2 kids before I ever experienced my first orgasm, like tragic shit like that. And I think that, because for me, I'll tell you, one of the things that still has me hesitate and pump the brakes on, fully expressing what ultimate pleasure would be like for me. What it would take for me to experience ultimate pleasure is the idea that maybe my mama might see my videos someday. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, Jemisu, right? Jemisu, right? I hope I'm not slaughtering that. Jemisu, right? Thank you for tuning in. SW, sex work felt like healing work for me. It absolutely is. It absolutely 10,000% it is. And especially since I've been teaching this. Since I became an ordained minister and started teaching from the great cosmic mother, rediscovering the religion of the earth, since I started really centering even my healing work in the spiritual reemergence of the mother, baby, it is not an aside, baby. Sex work, sexual pleasure, sexual ecstasy is central in my healing work. It is. It is. Okay, so I'm confused about career choices. This is Vane Lamp who made the donation for 2 questions. I'm confused about, I'm just going to post your question, okay? I'm confused about career choices, but really love studying and being able to teach people, debate with people about spirituality, but I don't know how to start. Excuse the late reply, no problem. Let's see. Honeybee Beloved says, I went to seminary to become a pastor and it felt less aligned with less aligned than the sex work. Oh, I accept that. I can absolutely see how that would be the case. I could absolutely see how that could be the case, especially when we talk about, and I won't belabor it, but if you go back to the readings that we did, which are all on my YouTube channel, of the Great Cosmic Mother, Rediscovering the Religion of the Earth, when in the very first chapter, when she talks about the trigger organ for human evolution of consciousness being the clitoris of the human female mammal, that the human clitoris is the only organ that exists in any mammal on earth that is solely for the sexual stimulation and erotic release. Yeah, did I say that right? Yes. Erotic stimulation and erotic release, that it has nothing to do. It is the only organ of any mammal, of any creature on earth that has nothing. Its only purpose is for the pleasure of women. That it was the trigger organ that gave rise to the evolution of human consciousness. I was like, look, if the erotic pleasure of the female human mammal was responsible for the emergence of human consciousness, synaptic connections being made and fired as a consequence of prolonged love-making sessions that had nothing to do with primal procreation, the evolution of the female from the estrous cycle to the menstrual cycle synced up with the moon, then I am of the position that the future of humanity rests with the sexual pleasure and fulfillment of female human mammals. That's my personal position. So I ain't got no problem with the idea that, and of course, that's not a reach, because it has been the thing that has been most assaulted, most attacked, most belittled, most demonized, is full on sexual female autonomy. The complete autonomy of our own bodies for our own pleasure on our own terms. It is the scourge of the age. Listen, you want liberation for yourself? Fight for liberation for female human mammals. Sexual autonomy, sexual sovereignty, complete and total reconnection with the body of the great primordial mother through sexual ecstasy. That's it. I am confused. Okay, cool. So it's Van Lamp. I just pulled a card for you. So I did not pull an I Ching card this time. I pulled a tarot card for you called the Exemplar of Pipes. I love this card. I love this card. The Exemplar of Pipes. So take a moment to look at this card really well. Look at some of the images, the pipes on the ground, the wand in her hand, the deer in the background, the smoking pipe in her other hand. I'll show this to you guys on IG. The exemplar of the pipes. So she's got the wand in one hand, the smoking pipe in the other, the playing pipe, the flutes at the bottom of the screen, the deer in the background. Okay, the exemplar of the pipes. I love this card. And so, for those of you who are not familiar with the Medicine Woman deck, I love this deck. I have several decks. I have a traditional deck. I have the Medicine Woman deck, but this deck is the one. It's just always the one. It's always on time. It's always perfect. So we'll talk about the exemplar of the pipes is, for those that are more familiar with the traditional tarot, the exemplar of the pipes is the king of the king of the wands, the king of wands, the king of wands. Okay. So it is a sage. The title of the card, or the name of the card, is a sage. A sage is a self well expressed, a self well expressed. I love this card for you, Zvan Lamp. I love this card for you because you're talking about confused about career choices, but you really love to study and being able to teach people and debate with others about spirituality. This deck always hits like this, y'all. This person gets the exemplar of the pipes. Now, in this deck, just a little overview, very short. The pipes in this deck represents two instruments, okay? You see the woman, the sage, right? The elder, holding a smoking pipe in one hand, and down at the bottom, you see like a flute, like the playing pipes in the one hand. And then you've got the wand in her main hand, okay? The pipes in this deck represent the wand, and she's holding a staff, wand, whatever, same difference. But it represents the wand in the traditional deck. The wand is what? In every religion, in every tradition, even Christianity, the wand or the staff is what? It is a focal point. It is an instrument used to channel energy, spiritual energy through you, through this instrument, and direct it accordingly. You feel me? When God tells Moses, pick up this stick right here, and in my name, you gonna do wonders with it, and then he goes out into the world and he do all kind of radical stuff with the stick. You feel me? That is one aspect of the pipes. The other aspect of the pipes is the smoking pipe, the harmonizing of the masculine and feminine energy. The long stem of the pipe is the masculine energy. The bowl of the pipe is the feminine energy. You put something in it, right? You put your medicine, whatever the medicine is, you put the medicine in it to smoke. So, and then you have three. You've got the wands, which is the traditional deck, and then you've got the two types of pipes. The smoking pipe, where you put something in, inhale. Those of you who are following me in the reading of Pure Lust are going to vibe with this. You inhale, you draw in the pipe, you draw in the medicine, and then you exhale. While the medicine is burning and while you exhale, and when you exhale and the medicine is burning, the smoke carries the prayer. When you smoke the medicine, you are making a prayer about your own healing, right? The smoke carries that prayer to heaven. At least that's what the indigenous, Western hemispheric, native indigenous people believe, is that there's something symbiotic and simultaneous happening. You draw in the medicine, and then the smoke takes your prayer for wellness, for healing to heaven, unifying masculine and feminine energy to ensure that it's so. Okay, when you have the playing pipe that's in this card, you're exhaling. What did we talk about today? Spiration, exhaling, speaking, blowing out to ensure a certain result. When you play the flute, you are communicating to anybody that hears, We, our flesh, function as both pipes. Our bodies that we incarnate in function as both pipes. The inhaling pipe that takes in what we need, takes in the medicine, takes in whatever it is. Exhaling the prayer, we exhale the prayer into an instrument that then creates something for others to be fed from. You feel me? This is perfect for somebody who is talking about loving to teach others, loving to debate about spirituality, and trying to understand how you can create a career from that. You love studying, you love the debating, you love talking to, you love teaching. So this card falling for you. So let me just talk about some of the takeaways from this card. Okay. Okay. So the takeaway from this card, with the explanation that I just gave you, is about trusting the artistic or creative side of self, trusting your words, trusting that. So the sage is a self well expressed. This means you have experiences. This means you have education. This means you have life experiences, whether it's from mentors or whether it's from formal school, that have made you a sage, made you one that has a right and an ability to teach others, to self-express and know. Because what is a sage? A sage is one that has gotten to the height of their learning and now has the ability to teach others. You see this sage sitting here, teaching, smoking, chilling. The stone underneath her, because that's the other element in this deck, is the stone is the foundation of your whole life, that which supports you. So the stone in the traditional deck is the pentacles. It's your wealth. Your wealth, according to any tarot deck, is about that which you have acquired, whether it's physical wealth, it's actual tangible wealth, money, home, cars, or even experiences, learning, education, that becomes the foundation with which you rest. The deer is a representative of that which you hold closest to you, hold dear to your heart, hold most important in this period, right? So I would say that, and let me just do a little quick dafa on it. But my intuition is telling me that if you are leaning towards a life, yes, a life in spirituality, a life teaching spirituality, a life in those circles, that you would do well. And the time calls for it. That's not a stretch. That's not a reach. The time calls for it. The period that we're in calls for it. This week is a time for you to be quiet, for you to be introspective, for I don't know if you partake in substance. I don't know if you smoke herb or if you eat psychedelics, if you eat mushrooms, but this week may be the time for you to do some microdosing on some mushrooms and clear out some of the energetic cobwebs, if you will, and listen to spirit. But my inclination is whatever your current career is, because you said you're confused about career choices. Whatever your current career is, find a way to transition in a way that is comfortable for you into that which you are called to do, which is geared and centered in spirituality, spiritual work. So whether that means, and I don't know what you mean when you say spiritual work, but whether that means learning divination, whether that means learning how to read the tarot or whatever form of divination speaks to you, whatever your background is, whatever your ethnic background is, I would say start there. I can't get an idea from your name about your ethnic background, but if you're European, especially like Northern European, Nordic region European, start with the runes. But that's what I would say is, your foundation too, like this woman sitting on this foundation as a part of who she has become as a sage. Part of your foundation is your ancestors. And that is my position to everyone. I don't care who you are, where you from, what your ethnic background is. Start with your ancestors. Start with the traditions of your ancestors. Thank you so much. Good. I'm glad. Yes. Okay, so in terms of the second part of that question, you can email me. You can email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com, releaseheartcenter@gmail.com, and I can tell you where you can get some reliable sources for microdoses. But yeah, that's what especially this week with Oya and Oshun, or Pluto and Venus, rocking with each other all week. Yes, and this is for anybody. Take the time, sit with plant medicine, but don't be fake, y'all. Don't be fake. I can't stand fake spirituality, man. And it's so run amok. It just fucks with my spirit, man. You can be a deeply profound, spirit-led spiritual person and be a straight up human being. You can be straight up. You feel me? Like y'all see me. What you see is what you get. Okay? All the time, every time, no matter where you see me. My clients know it. The people that I put my hands on as a healer know it. Like, when you see Cassandra, she is who she is all the time. Whether I'm I think being a fake healer, a fake spiritual person, just does such a grave and enormous disservice to human beings, man. Be you. You can be a practical human being. You can work a 40-hour work week. You can be a suit and tie guy and still be fully plugged in, fully tapped in. So that's what I encourage. Okay. Get yourself some microdose. You can have a spiritual experience on marijuana. I don't consume marijuana. It does not do for me what it does for others. Mushrooms, I will do. You understand? Ever since I took ayahuasca, I can't consume acid anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cannot. Ayahuasca changes the game. You feel me? It was a long time before I could even consume mushrooms again. If you don't do plant medicine at all, baby, you can do regular plant medicine. I'm not talking about psychedelic medicine. I'm talking about taking some herbs that help calm you enough to get you out of your head. Take some mega doses of St. John's wort this week. St. John's wort will get you out of your head. It will aid in any kind of depressive tendencies that you have. It will eliminate any anxiety that you may be experiencing. If you want to, since Zvain Lamp, you're talking about being West Indian, add some ashwagandha to that. Take some St. John's wort and some ashwagandha together, right? Take some eleutherococcus. You understand? These herbs help to bring you out of your head. They help to assist their adrenal adaptogens. So they help to eliminate that tendency that we have towards anxiety or pensiveness or worry, so that you can actually hear, you can actually think clearly when spirit is trying to communicate with you. I tell y'all this all the time. Spirit, what is this deck always telling us? Spirit speaks more clearly through a well-rested vessel. Spirit speaks more clearly through a well-rested, relaxed vessel. Okay? So I am glad that was helpful. Anybody else want to ask a question? I'm sitting here looking at my IG. I am looking at... Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Gemma Sue Wright, for tuning in. She says it's the first time that she has ever seen me. Great. I'm so thankful. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Anybody else? No other questions? No other questions? So let's see. It's 11:12. Okay, so I'm only going to be on here till 11:36. 11:36. Okay. 11:36. So we've got just a few more minutes, a little more than 20 minutes. Let's see. How should a couple of almost 12 years? Okay, so for those of you who are tuning in late, it is an $11 donation per question. You can ask up to 3 questions per person. It's $11 donation per question. You can ask up to 3 questions per person. To make that donation, look at the bottom of the screen. You can make those donations through Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. I will post those again since it's been a minute on my IG because you can't see the bottom of the screen. So Zelle is releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Venmo is Cassandra-Floyd. My Cash App is IyapoNgina, $IyapoNgina, and PayPal is at IyapoNgina. For those that are tuning from YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, is $11 per question, up to 3 questions per person. Zelle is a releaseheartcenter at gmail.com. Venmo is Cassandra-Floyd. Cash App is $IyapoNgina. And PayPal is at IyapoNgina. So I'll put those up. So if you want to ask a question, Jemisu, if you want to ask a question, let's see. Let me put this back here. Make your donation and those various methods for this live reading. Let's see. Yes, lovely. Okay, lovely. Let's see. Okay, and so, all right. So we have maybe about 20 minutes left. All right, so let's go ahead and shuffle these again. And so for those who are interested in getting a little mini reading, 1 question and up to 3 questions at $11 per question, I am reading this evening from the Medicine Woman Inner Guidebook deck and also from the I Ching. I love the I Ching so much, and I'm going to start reading from it more. It had been some time. I'd put it away for a while, but I mean, again, the I Ching and the Dafa of Ifa are at least the 2 oldest known documented systems of divination, the binary systems of divination. As a matter of fact, I heard a professor maybe about a year and a half ago from West Africa talk about the Dafa and the I Ching as being the absolute cited origins of the modern way that we do computer programming. The 1s and 0s of computer programming came directly from the I Ching and the Dafa of Ifa divination. So you act like magic isn't being used against you. You act like your systems of your ancient systems of divination and wisdom aren't being used against you, and they absolutely are. And again, I watched a professor do a whole deep dive on the history of the binary systems of divination of I Ching and Dafa, and how they are actually what gave rise to the modern computation systems that we use, that is the 1s and the 0s. And it makes sense. Let me show you. The I Ching, as I said earlier, right, is just a system. I don't know if you can see it here. Let me see if they have a good picture in this book. But you've seen it before, right? It's a system that it basically is about the yin and yang, harmony of opposites, that I'm always talking to y'all about, right? Okay, so here, I don't know if you can see it well, but this bagua is called a bagua, right? You've got the yin and yang in the middle, and then you've got the 8 different positions or type, the 8 different types of organization of the lines. You see, I don't know if I can get close enough for you guys to see that, but you see the yin and yang in the middle, and then you got the different types of broken lines, right? So I'll show you guys on Instagram, right? So here you got the bagua, which is the yin yang in the middle, and then the 8 organizations of the whole and broken lines. Okay, these, however they fall, the different ways that they fall equals up to 64 different types of falls. These are called the hexagrams, the 64 hexagrams, and this is the way that they line up. Okay, so you've got the 3 whole lines, you've got the 2 sets of 3 broken lines, so on and so forth. I'll show you out really quick here. So it is a system of whole lines and broken lines. This is the binary system. Whole and broken lines in 8 organizations. The 8 organizations, however they are thrown, make 64 potentialities. Okay? With the Dafa, so you have, let me see if I have anything close to me. Dang. Okay, well, we'll use this as an example, okay, because this is one way that I throw like simple Dafa. We have a more complex Dafa, which is the 16 cowrie shells. I wanted to show you that because the cowrie shells actually look. I got a cowrie shell in my hair. We'll use this one. Okay, so with the cowrie shell, right? Which you guys know that in African tradition, all over the continent, the cowrie shell was actually one of the primary forms of currency. And the reason was because the women owned and run the marketplace, and the cowrie shell looks like a vagina. Okay, see that? See how the cowrie shell looks like a vagina? But the reason also that the cowrie shell was used in divination is for the same reason. Divination was a feminine. It was owned by Oshun as the ruler of divination, right? The cowrie shell was a primary form of currency because it looked like a vagina, and women owned and controlled the marketplace. But in this divination that we say, that I heard this lecturer, this professor, talk about these 2 systems, I Ching and Dafa, being the origin of modern day computation of the ones and zeros, is because look, you have the 1 and the 0, the 1 and the 0, the 1 and the 0. See? The 1 and the 0. Okay? So hopefully that's clear. But and so when I say I throw simple Dafa, I was taught by my godmother that if you wanted to ask simple yes and no questions of yourself or of others, you can use coconut shells or 4 cowrie shells or 4 pennies to ask simple yes or no questions of yourself. So I use my coconut shells from my Olegba shrine to ask simple yes and no questions. And so there are different ways that these shells fall. And the different ways that these shells fall will tell you, it's 4 or 6 ways that these shells fall will tell you definitive yes, a definitive no, a yes, but ask a different way. So you need to throw again, a no, but ask a different way, and throw again, right? So simple Dafa, you can use it as 4 pennies. The face up of the pennies being your 0, the face down of your pennies being your 1, right? So, yeah. Let's see. So we don't have anyone else so far that has come on to ask a question. For those of you who are tuning in late, this is a late night read leading up to this most magnanimous week. I did the overview of why this week is magnanimous. Tomorrow is the 1010 portal. It is an epic time to get a question answered for yourself. Tonight, on the eve of this 1010 portal. Okay, this 1010 portal is accompanied by the wonderful, beautiful, magnanimous Pluto, the enricher, the revealer, the equalizer. Okay, oh my God. This 1010 portal is accompanied by Pluto stationing retrograde. I say the beautiful, magnanimous, equalizer, harmonizer, balancer, revealer, the governess of the revelations, she who is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega, the space in between all things, the wonderful, beautiful goddess Oya as Pluto. You feel me? Is stationing direct tomorrow. She will give you the gumption, boo. She'll give you the courage. She'll give you the direction. She'll give you the charge to let live in the light that which you have kept hidden. That thing that you have kept hidden may possibly, quite likely, be the thing that heals others, that leads others, that teaches others, that emboldens others, that encourages others. So me telling y'all for the first time ever, I want to direct porn, and several women got right up on my shit like, yes, girl, I feel that. Oh my God, yes. Like I said, that thing that you keep secret, that thing that you keep quiet might be the very thing that saves the whole goddamn planet. But do you have the courage to let that thing live out loud, to have its time on the block? And everything is working in your favor for it to be so, especially this week. Baby, Pluto stations direct tomorrow in the 1010 portal. You understand? Friday the 13th, owned by the governess Venus. Baby, if you, as a matter of fact, Zvain Lamp, this is the week to decide what your method of divination or spiritual work is going to be. You have something to teach someone else. You have something to teach. So this is the week that you need to be sitting. You need to go somewhere to some fresh water, make an offering to Oshun, take her a pumpkin. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and give y'all a free ritual to do this week. And then I think I'm going to close this way. I'm going to give y'all a free ritual to do this week since it's her domain. It's her rule this week, Venus. Take a pumpkin this week. Grab a pumpkin, cut it, clean it out, gut it. Get yourself a white candle like these that I'm burning, the little just basic tea light candles. Get a tea light candle. Get some honey, some cinnamon sticks, 5 cinnamon sticks, and a piece of parchment paper. You can get paper from anywhere, parchment paper. You can probably even pick up from a butcher. Just get some parchment paper and do not cut it, tear it to where you have a piece that you can write on it. And with red ink, you are going to write a prayer, whatever that is, whatever you desire, whatever you need the courage to let live, whatever protection that you need for yourself or your family, whatever you're trying to draw to you, music, art, money, love, whatever your deepest heart's desire is, write it on this paper in red ink. Fold it towards you like you're drawing that to you. You're drawing abundance to you, drawing your prayer to you. Fold it to you 5 times. Okay? Place that piece of paper in the bottom of the pumpkin. On the top of that piece of paper, place your tea light candle and light it. You are going to drizzle your honey in there. You're going to place your 5 cinnamon sticks in there, drizzle your honey in there. And then you're going to go to the nearest body of fresh water that you can find. Go to the nearest body of fresh water that you can find and send that pumpkin out onto that fresh water. That's your offering and that's your prayer for this week. That's your ritual for this week. Okay? That's your ritual for this week. If you have me tell it, the optimal days to do it this week would be on tomorrow, the 1010 portal where Pluto stations direct, or on Venus's power day, which is Friday the 13th, this Friday. but take that as your freebie. You feel me? So I will be doing this every night this week. This week, I'm getting goosebumps just telling you. This week is so big. This week is so energetically, powerfully, divinely, femininely huge. Please do not miss the opportunity to power up this week. Get a reading, whether from me or someone else. Get your Akashic records opened. I don't do Akashic records, but if you need someone to open up your records, I have a woman, baby. I have a woman. I have a woman who is incredible. I love her. I had one other person attempt to open my records. Never again. This woman is amazing. She is so genuine. She's a daughter of Oya. You feel me? But yes, this week is a wonderful week to have your Akashic records open, especially if you've never had them opened. So if you are interested in having your Akashic records open, email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. releaseheartcenter@gmail.com, and I will forward you her information. This week is an optimal opportunity to get your records open. If you want to book a reading with me, whether that is a health and wellness consultation as my healer brain, or whether you would like to get a full-length spiritual reading done with me, email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. So like my wellness consultation is comprehensive. So I will spend an hour with you doing your intake and talking to you about giving you a diagnosis. And then I will, within the week, give you a written, type you a write-up of what came out of your wellness consultation with recommended herbs, regimen, diet, the whole nine. I am a nutritionist. Like I said, I have 4 degrees, a master's degree in traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture, a bachelor's degree in professional health sciences, a bachelor's degree in alternative medicine with a focus on Ayurveda, and an associate's in massage therapy with 16 certifications. So I know a little something. So you can either get with me about a wellness consultation, or you can get with me about a reading, or both. releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. If you are interested in having my friend, who I tell everybody, if you're going to get your Akashic records open, she the one. Let me know, releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Okay. This week, every night this week at 9:36 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be doing live readings because this week is so big. The rest of this month is so big. The rest of this year is enormous. We have to power up. And I think it is the regularity and the consistency of these meetings that keep our minds clear of that bullshit being imposed on us from outside. You can be concerned with what's happening in the world without being emotionally exploited by those things happening in the world. Okay? So say a prayer for those who are being victimized by the state. Say a prayer for those who have been oppressed or are currently oppressed, but steer clear of becoming the emotional freaking host to emotional parasites. And what I mean by that is propagandists attempting to take advantage of these amazing astrological events for the sole purpose of trying to maintain power over the rest of us. Okay? So I'm going to be on here every night at 9:36 p.m. to do readings every night this week. I want you to power up. Every night I will give you a new ritual that you can incorporate this week. Today is the pumpkin ritual. Primarily tomorrow or Friday, do that pumpkin ritual. I will give you rituals to do. Please support the readings. I'm also the founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. Every single thing that I do is to support the building of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. Okay. If you want to support in other ways, I make jewelry. I make freaking fantastic jewelry if you have me till it. So this one's old. This is one of the first ones I made. It's about 8 years old, but this is my personal goddess bracelet that has goddesses from different cultures around the world. You see? So you got Oya on here, and Pele on here, and Dambala on here. Who else? Ishkol is on here. Yemaya. There's a bunch. Oh, Sekhmet is on here. There's a bunch of them. Anyway, so I make customized personal jewelry. And so if you want to support that way, you can go to my Etsy page, which is daughterofthefates.etsy.com. 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 If you want to get a reading or a wellness consultation, releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Find me on YouTube @Daughter of the Fates. Put in the search engine @Daughter of the Fates. Otherwise, some crazy shit will come up. @Daughter of the Fates on YouTube. On Facebook, it's Cassandra Faye Floyd. On Twitter, it's Cassandra Faye Floyd. But everything is Cassandra Faye Floyd or Daughter of the Fates. Okay? I'm going to close out for the night. I will be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the continued reading of Pure Lust, Elemental Feminist Philosophy by Mary Daly. Pure Lust, Elemental Feminist Philosophy by Mary Daly. So that will be at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then again at 9:36 Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, I will be doing again $11 readings per question, $11 per question donation. And Jimisu, right? I really want to encourage you to make a donation, but I want you to email me because I don't want to leave you hanging on your question. How should a couple of almost 12 years gain trust back? Please email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Jamisu, right. Please email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. And I want to talk to you about that, okay? Okay, so that's it for me tonight. My name is Cassandra Faye Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates. I am the founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I will be back with you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 9:36 Pacific Standard Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was actually a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see what unfolds from this week. This week is giant. Okay? Power up. That's the motto for the whole week. Power up. Power up. Power up. That's your mantra. Power up. That's your mantra. Power up. Okay? I cannot say it enough. All right. So, all right. Good night.